Incredibly expensive things Michael Jordan has bought. Michael Jordan is not only the basketball superstar, he's probably the most famous athlete ever, and definitely one of the most iconic names around the world. No matter where you go, everyone knows who Michael Jordan is and his legacy. And of course, being so successful usually comes with the perk of having money. In this case, lots of money. But have you ever wondered, how does MJ actually spend his money? Get ready, because today we are having a look at 8 incredibly expensive things Michael Jordan has bought.
Superfinances.
Number 1. Luxury yachts, $80 million. Are you even a billionaire if you don't own an expensive yacht? Michael Jordan has more money than he'd ever spend in a lifetime, and he's not afraid to show it. One of his most expensive purchases includes an $80 million yacht, which he bought in 2019, and he named it Mr. Terrible, which is a pretty funny name, but it fits perfectly within Michael Jordan's sense of humor. The yacht is so huge that it has an entire basketball court inside and can hold large parties, and it's currently docked at St. Bart's. It goes without saying that Michael Jordan uses that yacht for all kinds of fun, and it's pretty wild when you think about it because it's almost expensive enough to compensate for the average Hollywood movie's box office. It doesn't stop there though. Michael has to spend $840,000 every time he takes the yacht out to keep it running smoothly, which isn't a surprise since it's 230 feet long. And aside from the yacht, he also has a fishing boat which is 80 foot long and comes from the Viking Yacht Company. Number 2. A custom Gulfstream G550 jet, $61.5 million. How do you top off a yacht? The answer is difficult and sometimes even impossible, but not for Michael Jordan. He wants to make a statement in everything that he does, and that includes when he's not on the ground. Since he's a successful businessman, it's no surprise that he has to travel often for his ventures. And the fastest way to travel is, of course, by flying. So he has a custom Gulfstream G550 jet that costs $61.5 million. The jet is customized with his signature blue and white colors, which represent the University of North Carolina. Then we have the Jordan logo on one part of the plane and his call sign N236MJ, which represent his jersey number, initials, and the total number of titles that he's won. Number 3. Michael Jordan's watch collection, $500,000. Michael Jordan's a big fan of watches, and he has a very diverse collection of them too. Although he's a fan of Rolex watches in general, he does not use basic designs that already exist for most of the populace. For example, he has a Urwerk UR202 made out of white gold, and it has sapphire crystals inside it too. And he also has a Robert Dubuis Excalibur Spider Pirelli, which has special features such as a skeleton dial and a band that has been crafted out of tires that won Formula 1 races. But let's talk about the money. The aforementioned Urwerk UR202 has been estimated to cost around a whopping $145,000. And the Roger Dupuis watch is estimated to be somewhere around $73,000 to even $321,000. So it depends on how much his specific watch costs, but it's easily over $100,000. Lastly, we have his A. Lange & Son datograph that likely costs over $90,000 too. If you want to have a general idea, an average not-so-cheap Rolex watch costs around $5,000. The reason that MJ's cost so much is solely because he always wants to have the best of everything, with the right amount of sentimental value thrown into it. In total, his watch collection is estimated around at least $500,000, and there are many watches in his collections that we surely know nothing about. Number 4. Highland Park and other properties, over $30 million. The most famous mansion that Michael Jordan owns is his Highland Park mansion, which costs around $21 million. The main gate says 23, which represents his number when he was with the Bulls. Inside, we have a basketball court, a swimming pool, a tennis court, a golfing area, a water pond, 9 bedrooms, and around 20 bathrooms, which should give you a great idea of how large this mansion is. He also spent over $10,000 to have trees in his property, which is excessive to hear as a gardening budget, but no big deal for Michael Jordan. Aside from this mansion, he also has a house in North Carolina that costs $2.8 million and it's located outside Charlotte. It has a 1.1-acre estate, and the main house has 3 different story buildings and has a total of 12,350 feet of living space. This includes 6 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms, a dining room, a living room, a gourmet kitchen, a heated swimming pool, a spa, and a private jetty. Although it has a massive entertainment center in the basement, strangely, it does not have a basketball court. And still in North Carolina, he also owns a penthouse next to the Bank of America in Charlotte. And lastly, he has an estate in Miami that costs $281,000 and a house in Florida that cost him $20 million. And that house has a 26,000 square foot property that has walking access to the exclusive Bears Club Golf Club, where he visits often as it's one of his favorite sports. Number 5. Charlotte Hornets, $175 million. It's not an uncommon practice for someone who used to be a part of an industry to invest in it through a different angle when their career is over. For example, actors often become directors and producers. Fast food employees sometimes earn enough to purchase franchise rights and manage their own chain, and so on. But it's not every day that you hear a basketball player end up buying an entire team once they are done playing themselves. Michael Jordan loves to remain involved in the sports industry, and he eventually purchased a basketball sports team, the Charlotte Hornets, for a massive $175 million price in 2010. It was originally considered a risky investment by many since it's not always certain that a team will become successful or not in the future. But it ended up paying off because he ended up becoming a billionaire thanks to the Hornets' success, and the team is now estimated to be worth at least $1.5 billion. Although Michael Jordan reportedly sold a bit of his 97% shares of the team, he still owns a majority of it and seems to have no plans to pull out anytime soon. And according to a report, he even once claimed that winning a match as an owner is almost more satisfying than winning a match himself as a player. Number 6. Mercedes McLaren SLR 722 Edition, $3 million. Michael Jordan is almost as specific about his cars as he is about his watches. One of his favorite cars is the Mercedes McLaren SLR 722 Edition, and it cost him $3 million. It features Sensatronic brake control, active aerodynamics, and it can accelerate from 0 to 100 km per hour in just 3.6 seconds. It can also attain a top speed of 337 km per hour with ease. It's much faster than the average Mercedes-Benz, and the 722 in its name refers to the victory by Sterling Moss and his co-driver Dennis Jenkinson in a Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR in 1955. Number 7. More expensive vehicles, $5 million total including the Mercedes. Other popular vehicles that Michael Jordan owns includes a Cadillac XLR costing approximately $110,000. That features a V8 engine which can run at a top speed of 249 km per hour. And it has a magnetic ride control suspension. It has luxurious space, leather seating, a large touchscreen, and a heads-up display that comes with adaptive cruise controls. He has a bunch of other Ferraris and Lamborghinis in his garage, which might still include a $2 million Bugatti Veyron Sang Noir, a $331,000 Ferrari 512 Maranello, a Ferrari Pista, a Ferrari 599 GTB Fiorano, a Ferrari 512 TR, an Aston Martin DB9 Volante, a Porsche 911 Turbo S, and a bunch of other vehicles too. All of these are expensive counterparts to the ones that we generally see on roads, and although he might have sold some of these by now, he always buys some alternative to everything that he loses. When combined, his confirmed vehicles make up to be over $5 million. And this excludes all the vehicles that he might own which we are unaware of. As we said, his car collection is just as luxurious and specific as his watch collection, and we love to see it. Number 8. Air Jordan, $1.3 billion. Air Jordan is arguably one of the biggest endorsement bargains in the sports industry. Partnered with Nike, Michael Jordan owns the rights to the Air Jordan sub-brand through which we have seen many uniquely designed sneakers that contain the official Michael Jordan logo. According to Forbes, this deal has earned Michael Jordan more than $13 billion over time since the day he signed the deal back in 1984. It's the most money that any athlete has earned through a brand deal, and it even pushed Nike into becoming more relevant as a brand. Funnily enough, this deal almost did not go through because Michael Jordan originally intended to partner with Adidas. But Jordan's agent changed his mind since he had a good work relationship with Nike and got MJ a 5-year deal that had a base pay of $500,000, which was triple the amount of any other NBA sneaker deal. Even for children who may not be entirely familiar with Michael Jordan as a cultural icon, they will still be aware of the Air Jordans to some extent. And that just shows you how expensive, valuable, and relevant this brand is for both Nike and the sneaker world in general. Number 9. Michael Jordan's Grove 23 Country Club. Michael Jordan is well known for his enthusiasm towards golf as a sport, and he used to visit many different clubs throughout his time as a famous celebrity. Eventually, he got tired of visiting clubs owned by other people and having to play with everyday civilians. So he purchased a property in Florida which is 226 acres of land and created one of the most expensive country clubs in the country, which includes a large amount of land for golfing, a giant club area with lounges that have dining facilities, drones that deliver drinks to players, and even a personal cigar roller that gives players freshly rolled cigars on the spot. What sets this country club further apart is that despite being open for years, it only had a reported number of 80 members and doesn't have any people that aren't successful celebrities. For example, personalities like Tiger Woods, former President Barack Obama, and a bunch of famous NBA superstars such as Ray Allen have been spotted being inside the club. It's a very private, sort of secret, and overly expensive country club that is more of something that Michael Jordan likes to have personally than something that he created as a business, which is frankly a very Michael Jordan thing to do. So there you have it. These were 9 incredibly expensive things Michael Jordan owns. Which one do you find the most interesting? Let us know in the comments, and we'll see you again in our next video.
Superfinances.